All right, here we are. Another episode of Release Rotation. I'm your host, John W. Snyder. As I record this, it is on a Tuesday night at 10:20 my time, p.m. I'm tired, I'm exhausted. I'm trying to get these in, and late night is the best I can do. But for me, this is better than nothing, so here we are. Done a lot of these episodes. I thank you for listening. Let's just get right into it. The NBA, right? That's what's going on. That's what I'd like to talk about. Let's talk about the Warriors. Again, I said it last week and I'm going to say it again. The Warriors do not need Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant this whole time needed the Warriors to get his ring or rings or whatever validation he needed that he wasn't going to get in Oklahoma City. It's fine, whatever. It is what it is. He moved on. It's been few years now. As an Oklahoma City fan, you have to move on. Sure, it hurts, it stings, but Kevin Durant's gone. He's probably never coming back. And that's fine. That's okay. He left to go win a ring. In a lot of ways, I don't blame him at all. I think it's more about how he left Oklahoma City, and I think most people will agree with me on that. It's more of how he left. Not really that he left, but just the way he did it and how it happened. So I think that's where the reality sets in. Can't blame him for leaving. If that's all he wanted was to win a ring, yeah, great, he did it. Again, the Warriors don't need Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant needs the Warriors. And they've proven that the last 3 games. Right? Well, 2.5, I guess, really. Well, 2 games and a quarter and a half. They don't need him. They're fine without him. They're going to win it. Kevin Durant could be out the rest of the year, and the Warriors are still going to win the championship. It's just the way it is. And the way the Warriors beat the Rockets in Houston, with Steph's finger banged up at the end, Steph not scoring any points in the first half, and then he goes on and scores 30-something in the second half, and almost half those came in like the last 7 or 8 minutes of the game. And that's what I said before too, was that Steph and Klay Thompson weren't going to get their shots. And this is when it's fun to watch Steph and Klay when Kevin Durant's not on the floor. And they are. And they have to win. And have to play the way they play without KD. It's fun. It's great basketball. Kevin Durant can go wherever he wants now. He's won. He's going to be a free agent. Go to the Clippers, man. Go to the Clippers and give LA a championship. The Clippers, that is. That'd be fun, right? I'm okay with that. Whatever. Come back to Oklahoma City. I'm pretty sure Oklahoma City fans would welcome you back. Might take a little bit, like a week or two. But I'm sure most OKC fans would be fine with you coming back if you wanted to. But I don't think KD wants to come back to Oklahoma City. But he should go to the Clippers. I think a lot of people were thinking the Knicks, which, whatever. Still could. The Knicks, everyone thought the Knicks were going to get the first pick. I mean, they had an equal chance with some other teams there. The Cavs and the Suns, which is really funny because the Cavs and the Suns got the 5th and 6th pick. Sorry, moving on. The lottery was tonight. The Knicks, the Cavs, and the Suns had a 14% chance of getting the number 1 pick. And the best team that got the highest pick the best team that had the best chance the team that had the best chance to get the highest pick ended up being the Knicks. They had a 14% chance of getting the number 1 pick, and they got the number 3 pick. The Suns and the Cavs got 5 and 6. The Pelicans, who had a 6% chance of getting the number 1 pick, got the number 1 pick. The Grizzlies also had a 6% chance of getting the number 1 pick, and they got the number 2 pick. And the Lakers, who had a 2% chance of getting the number 1 pick, ended up with the 4th pick. Is it rigged? Everyone thinks that. Whatever. Is the lottery rigged? I have no idea. I think this kind of proves that it's not, but whatever. What do I know? Does this mean Anthony Davis stays in New Orleans now because the Pelicans have the number 1 pick? There's rumors that he still wants a trade. Of course, the Pelicans say he'll be fine. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen with AD? Is he going to go to the Lakers, though? Why? Why go to the Lakers at this point? It's not worth it. I don't think anyone's going to the Lakers unless there's a trade. I don't see a free agent going to the Lakers. And again, I could be totally wrong. Because if somebody wants to play with LeBron, that's an all-star that hasn't, then maybe that's why. And that could happen. I don't know. But hilarious that the 3 teams with the highest percent chance to get the number 1 pick got the 3rd, 5th, and 6th pick. It's great. It's great for basketball. With that being said, does that end tanking? Is tanking dead? Because it sure didn't help any of those 3 teams. Tanking for Zion? Nope. Didn't happen. So maybe tanking's dead now with this new format. I sure hope so. Oklahoma City's going to get the 21st pick in the draft. It's their only pick. So that'll be interesting to see what they do with that pick. Do they actually pick someone, or do they trade that pick away? Maybe to move up, trade some stuff? I don't know. Sam Presti's always working behind the scenes. He's always got a plan, and it always comes out of nowhere. So we'll see. It's really interesting. Game 1 tonight between Portland and the Warriors happened, and the Warriors dominated, which we knew they would. So you have that there. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals are tomorrow night. The Bucks and the Raptors. I said the Bucks were going to win it all. I don't know about that now. Seeing what the Warriors are doing without KD, I don't know if they can, but I'll still stick with it. The Bucks win it all, just because I don't want the Warriors to win it, but it's really hard to say and to pick against them at this point because they're so good. So good. So, conference finals are starting and have started, so that's fun. Season's winding down. Then we have the draft, so off-season, free agency. NBA is fun to watch if you don't watch it. Pick a team, pick a player. Follow it. It's fun. But we'll see. I would love for Oklahoma City to do some things because they need to. I'm not sure they're going to really be able to get very far again next year if they don't make some changes, unless Andre comes back, which he really needs to. So we'll see there. Sticking with the NBA, there is a reporter / I guess he's a reporter, yeah, on Twitter that he hired a team I just saw he was going to hire 8 reporters, people to be on his team, but he hired 10. So he's at Sneaker Reporter, which is really funny and interesting because this is the branding that he's done. His username Sneaker Reporter, which is amazing that's his name. I love it. the funny thing about it is he's done such a good branding of his name Sneaker Reporter that I can't tell you his real first name. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, I guess it can't really be a bad thing because I follow him. He's got almost 19,000 followers on Twitter. He's on Instagram. I don't know how many followers he has on Instagram, but I saw that he got hired 10 people to be on his team. Who knows what they're getting paid? I don't know. But it was an awesome opportunity that he threw out there, and I kind of wish I'd throw my hat in the ring just to get my feet wet, because that would have been pretty cool to help him out. So it'll be interesting to see what he does with those 10 people, because I guess it's been a one-man show, and now he's going to 10. So that's really cool and really interesting. So we'll see. He posts a lot of great content, great videos. I feel like he knows the players pretty well, and he's got some cool stuff out there. And again, his name is @SneakerReporter, and I'll try to figure out his real name because, again, like I said, that's how good of the branding job he's done with this. I'm trying to find it right now. Travis Singleton. That's what I got off his Twitter after I went to a link. So there you go. See, now that I say that, it does ring a bell. But again, with branding, whatever it is, he's done an amazing job, because I only know him as Sneaker Reporter, and that's awesome. So it'll be fun to see what he does this next season, especially this offseason, next season, with this team that he's got around him. I want nothing but success for this guy, because he's been grinding it out, and he's been working really hard to get where he is. And I think that's awesome. I want nothing but success for people that work hard and put their head down and get stuff done. And he's one of those guys. And so it'll be fun to see what he does. That's all I've got for the NBA tonight. Not much else going on. We'll be right back after this quick break. And we're back after that quick break. So, if you've been listening, I always like to start with some sports, especially some NBA right now. Talk golf, whatever it might be. But I like to talk about sports, and then I like to move into some life development things. And I'm sure you've heard this. I'm sure maybe I've talked about this in the past, but I've just been thinking about it a lot lately. Just with this podcast and things that I want to do and things I want to accomplish in the next 10 years. By the time I'm 50. One of those things I'd love to do is have Gary Vaynerchuk on my podcast. I know it's a random goal, but he's a guy who has impacted me from a distance in a lot of ways, and he's someone who I would love to have on this podcast in the next 10 years by the time I'm 50. And I bring that up because by the time I'm 50, that seems like a long time away, right? And it is. For me, it's 11 years. And I'm still going to be doing this because this is something I love to do and enjoy. And I say that because I know and have come to the realization that it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's going to take a while, and that's fine. As long as you know that and can accept that, if you're starting something or doing something, it's going to take a while. There's other people out there who have done things and are doing things that they've been working hard and trying to do stuff, and they're my age, late 30s, and they are doing some awesome stuff. Another guy who I love, who I actually lived with for a while in Stillwater, Oklahoma. His name's Kevin DeShazo, and he runs a business called Fieldhouse Media. And he travels around to different universities and talks to athletic departments for the most. This is what his main thing is, and talks to athletic departments about social media. He does social media training, and he's been doing it for a really long time now. And the dude's he's was one of my good friends in college, and I still text him and we still talk every once in a while. And just this week, he was at UCLA talking to the UCLA athletic department. And it's interesting. I don't know how I would love to have him on here and get him his point of view and his side of things, because it's just interesting watching his journey from a distance, because I know he started this a while ago. I know that most of the stuff he's doing and has done has been on the East Coast and, the Midwest. And I know lately he's been getting some stuff out here on the West Coast. And again, it's a marathon and not a sprint, because he's been doing this for a while and he's just now getting some West Coast gigs. And we talked about this maybe like 5 years ago or 4 years ago. And I was talking to him about, hey, are you going to get here on the West Coast? Da, da, da. It's like, yeah, one day, hopefully, there's just not a lot of interest from West Coast schools right now. And da, 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 da. And here we are, however many years later, after he's been doing it all this time. He was at UCLA this week, which is amazing. To be at a big school like that, a big Pac-12 school, doing his thing. And again, another success story, another story that's amazing that I love watching happen. It's awesome. Because when I knew the guy in college, when we lived together, he was working in a funeral home, embalming dead bodies. And now he's talking to big Pac-12 schools about social media. It's awesome. I love it. And I want him to just keep getting successful and doing big things. And he's doing a lot of other side things. But that's one of the things that's been fun to watch and follow. And it's been a marathon for him. And I'm obviously not going to put words in his mouth, but I know that he would probably agree with me that it's been a marathon for him. It takes 7 to 10 years to be an overnight success. There's a lot of people that will tell you that. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't matter who you are. There's going to be lucky breaks you get along the way if you're working hard. That's what I feel like for most people. I mean, sure, some people get some lucky breaks with some weird viral videos now or tweets or whatever. But I feel like for the most part of it, it's people who have been working day in and day out, hustling, grinding, whatever buzzwords you want to use for that, over years. And then finally something happens, something clicks, and there they are. And for me, like I said, I know it's a marathon. I'm not expecting anything. I'm not entitled to anything. Just the fact that I have a degree in journalism and broadcasting. I got that degree, I don't know, 15, 16 years ago. And I feel like I'm just now really starting to embrace it and use it. Whether it's publishing or producing a podcast, whether it's mine or someone else's, or helping other people get things started, with the basics, what tools to use, how to do it. I love talking about podcasting and audio, and I hope to just get better and better at it. And I hope to teach more and more people about it. And I would love to one day make money doing it. But that's not my focus. I'm doing it for the joy that I get out of this. Just because I love doing it. I'm not doing it for anything else at this point. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it because this is my creative outlet. And this is something I'm passionate about. I like talking about sports. And I just like talking about life things. And, stories. And I can't wait to get some people on here. I know I keep saying that, but it costs money to buy extra equipment. And again, I'm not at that point, and that's fine. I'll get there. And so I'm doing it for the joy of it. I'm not doing it for the money or the fame, because I don't care about that. I care about getting stories out there and other people's stories out there. People who are working hard, like my buddy Kevin, who, yeah, I mean, maybe if you're in Oklahoma City or Edmond, Stillwater, Norman, and you're in sports or social media, you probably know who Kevin DeShazo is. But if you're out here in California or elsewhere, odds are you've never heard of his name. Even if you work at a university in social media, you've probably not heard of his name. And so I think that's awesome. And so I guess my follow-up question with everything is, excuse me, are you doing what you love yet? Whatever age you are, however old you are you doing what you love? Whether it's in a job or a hobby? Because when I sit down and I start talking into this microphone or whatever, as I'm trying to figure out what I want to talk about, as I'm doing some research, it's my sweet spot. I love it. I'd love to get more into some analytics. I'd love to get into more of helping people produce podcasts. I'd love to do mine more consistently at the same time, on the same day, every week. But when I sit down and do this or talk about a podcast or my podcast, I feel like that's my sweet spot, and I'm loving every minute of it. And so even if you right now are in a job that you don't like, please find something else. Please find a creative outlet or just an outlet to do something that you are passionate about and something that you love doing. It'll make things so much more fun in your life. I think you'll find more joy and happiness in the things that you do outside of your work if you don't enjoy it. And a lot of us have jobs because of certain reasons, whether it's financial reasons or, whatever benefits or whatever it might be, and you can't leave that job. That's fine. I get that. For me, my job that does pay me, I enjoy. I've worked with some great people, and I have fun when I go to work. But then when I do this and start talking about sports and just life things, this is my sweet spot, and I love doing this. And so you're going to have to put up with me for a while, because I'm just going to keep doing this because it's fun. That's really all I have this week. I hope you guys had a great week, and I hope that whatever it is you love to do, that you would find time to do it. Even if it's an hour a night after the family goes to bed, or an hour in the morning before everyone gets up. Get up an hour earlier before you usually do. It's not hard. It's not difficult. Or stay up an hour later than normal and go after what you want to go after. Thanks for listening. This is Release Rotation. My name is John W. Snyder. Thank you for supporting this podcast. I'd love for you to review it, whether it's on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else. If you listen to this, please give me some reviews. That would be amazing, especially on Apple. Thank you, though, for listening so much. Any reviews, no matter what they are, will benefit me. So there you have it. See ya.